Hello, welcome back. My name is Jesse Benedetti, and we're talking about the Costanza experiment on day 6, 7. This is the sixth installment I've given to you. I think it took the weekend off, but we're going to come back to it and hit it hard this week. The thing I wanted to talk about is perfection. The reason I get overwhelmed sometimes is because I'm trying to figure out, okay, what posting should I do? What should I talk about? What's going to make an impact? How's it going to get through to the people to see how important it is to listen to what I'm saying, that I've been there, that I know what I'm talking about. And then I get so overwhelmed, I just kind of shut down, and then I don't post anything. And then I just kind of keep to myself, and I don't want to talk about anything. The same thing just happened, right? I was just thinking about what today. I want to say something that's going to mean something. I want to say something that's going to be impactful. And then I realized, just stop thinking. It's just like a lot of people say, if you stop looking for something, you'll find it, right? So it's the same thing. I stopped looking for it, and I listened to one of my clients that I was listening to earlier, and they gave me some advice about stuff that I've done. I've heard my entire life, and all the years that I've been teaching and coaching, ever since I was 18 years old and on, is talking fast. Why do I talk fast? I mean, there's a lot of reasons we can go into over and over and over again. I've had, tons of therapy, not on talking fast, but there's tons of therapy about different things, different demons, different voices in my head. And it's those voices that tell me different things, not in a very psychotic type of way, not yet at least. So, but they say things to me ever since I was a kid. I've thought a lot of things based off of different traumatic experiences in my life, different drama in my life, trauma in my life, all the different things. And it's just like a lot of people growing up, you're not alone. You get to that point where you don't think that what you have to say really matters, or you get what I've heard and called the imposter syndrome, where you are portraying a dancer or a fitness trainer in my case, right? And I'm just trying not to look like I don't want to blow my cover. I don't want to let people know. And I can trace this back a little bit into my childhood when I was growing up. When I grew up, my parents, they tried to give me a good upbringing, and my mom, the hero of my life, is the one that actually gave me the good upbringing. She's the one that kept food in my stomach. It kept roof over our head. She did literally whatever it took to get us fed, to get us good schooling, to get us good clothing, to do whatever we needed to get through, to play sports, to teach us and raise us right. But unfortunately, there's a lot of problems. Like when we were growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. We had food stamps. We lived on government assistance. A lot of the times we relied on the church for Christmas presents a lot of the times growing up. And it's those voices that kind of got to me. And from a young, early age, even younger than that, but a young, early age, I kind of just kept to myself. Don't talk about anything, and then people won't know about your background. They won't know that your dad's an alcoholic. They won't know that your family is poor. They won't know that you get your gifts from the church. They won't know. It just don't invite it in, and then they won't know. And I think that's kind of something that I've carried with me, even without knowing it, throughout my years. And eventually I got to a point where it kind of went the opposite. Instead of kind of keeping it all in, I just kind of spewed everything possible that I knew. So when I learned the dancing in my life, I just kind of spewed all the knowledge out. It's a funny, quick story. My very first dance lesson I taught, I was 18 years old. We were told that the dance lesson needs to last about 45 minutes. And then you have to sit down with your customer or client, and then try to, you want to sell them dance lessons to see if they want to continue on with you. You teach them the basics of waltz and foxtrot and hustle, just get them all excited about it. It should take about a good 35 minutes or so. My first lesson took 15 minutes because I just blew through it. And that's probably where I can first think about where that fast talking first originated. It's not anything that I've even thought much about. I know that I can slow down if I want to, but the idea is I'm spewing all this information because I think that I think people have a very limited attention span. So some of you have already wandered off. Oh, pretty bird. Oh, sparkly color, right? So that just happens just throughout this whole time. So you got to get that message across, especially in the day and age that we live in right now, where everything is nanoseconds. And now all of a sudden, no, next thing. Oh, what's over there? What's over there? Right. So it's like I try to spew out as much as I possibly can in the short amount of time over and over and over again. But I think that's kind of where it originates, is me trying to keep everything in because I didn't want people to think that I wasn't, that I was somebody that I wasn't, and then became a dancer. And then I didn't want people to realize that I wasn't really a good dancer at first. And it's interesting, if I look back on it now, as I got better in my dancing, my instruction became slower. All right. So I got more confident with what I do. And it's not that I'm not confident in coaching sometimes, right? You see, if you've known me from HIIT training, you know that I'm just like, go, talk. And you know that I'm not like that in person. Yeah, I can talk a lot, but I don't necessarily talk fast all the time. And that's a whole different thing. That's just that same kind of mentality of get all the information out. I got to get it out there. I don't want silence, that uncomfortable silence. I want to feel like I feel like everybody needs motivation 100% of the time. And I would rather overdo the motivation than underdo the motivation, because I've had classes before where it was almost like you could hear a pin drop, except for the music. And if the music's not good, then it's really a disaster. So I kind of overcompensate sometimes. I feel like I have so much to say and I get so excited about what I want to say, and it just kind of goes. So it doesn't come from one place necessarily, but that's kind of where it originated, is that I didn't want to necessarily let people think that don't see that he's not this. I don't want to be caught. I don't want to be found out. I don't want this. I don't want that. And it's just different stories along the way. So I continue to work on slowing down a little bit. I think that would actually probably help just my health and overall, and help people see and hear what I'm doing. I do get excited. That's part of it too. It's not just trying to show that I'm not somebody. I'm a lot more confident with what I do nowadays. So the talking fast, it originated somewhere and it's kind of morphed into other things. It's just passion now. It's just excitement. I get pumped up. I love seeing people work out. I love seeing people make progress. And, I've been through all of that stuff. I know how hard it is. That's what makes it so exciting to me, is I know how hard that is. So that's just a little bit about me today, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the voices that go in your head. What are your voices saying? Right. So, and most importantly, the thing that we've been talking about recently is dieting and nutrition. No dieting, right? Eating better, having a healthy lifestyle, being able to live without diabetes, being able to live without obesity, being able to live without having to take a lot of drugs, right? That's what we're doing. We're not dieting. We're learning to eat better, because throughout the years, the food industry, the marketing and all that kind of stuff has really done something impressive from a business standpoint. They've made food addictive, that processed sugars. And they've said that there's studies out there, you can look them up. There's studies out there that show the processed food, the processed sugars have the same type of hit to the dopamine in your body that makes you want more and more of it as crack, as cocaine. Also, it's just like, it's that addicting where you come back to it. So your voices justify things in your head. Well, I've deserved this. I earned this. I want this. This is something I need. I have to have this. This is what makes this go better, and this is go better. And we will justify out the wazoo. And it doesn't matter what I say, and it doesn't matter what I do. Sometimes it's just you facing you. And so these voices, where do they originate? What are they saying to you? Where do they come from? Because it's about association. If you can associate these voices to something more positive now, you can turn the tides a little bit. It's like a nice little good versus evil, and you're just trying to change the course of your history. All right. You can't change what's already happened, but you can change your future. You can change your present if you can kind of control the voices. And it takes time, right? Whatever you've done 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of doing something, it's going to take some time. So in that, I want to talk just a second about cravings versus hunger, because while I've gone through fitness myself and I've helped train other people, that's one thing that comes up is I was just so hungry. I was just so hungry. Okay, well, here's a bunch of fruit and vegetables. Or I was just so hungry. Well, here's this. Well, I want that. I want this. And that's a craving, right? So here's the biggest difference. If you're truly hungry, if your body is telling you that you are hungry, it does not matter what somebody puts in front of you. I will tell you from firsthand experience. I used to hate peppers and onions and pretty much any vegetable possible. My mom would make meatloaf growing up, and I hated it. Hated onions growing up, so I hated meatloaf. I would go to McDonald's and get a hamburger without onions. That's right. I couldn't say the word, so I'd say onions, no onions. So, but I didn't want any onions. And then my life evolved. We grew up, taste changes, things happen. And then I started dieting and I started nutrition and I started this and I started that. And I started cutting foods to lose weight and things like that. And I'll tell you what, if somebody says you can have peppers and onions with your food, with your chicken or lean meat or whatever it is, you can have all of that, or you can just not have anything except the lean food. Your process changes a little bit. When you're truly hungry, no matter what gets put in front of you, unless you're allergic to it, you're going to eat it. So that's a good way to decipher whether you're having cravings, because if you're having cravings, yeah, you may be hungry, but it's just those habits that you've ingrained in your body. And as you start to eat more healthy, your body's going to rebel. It's going to say, no, 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 give it back. It's the same thing. Just think of it. If you had a drug addiction, or if you know anybody that's had a drug addiction, what happens when they try to stop, especially cold turkey? They have withdrawals, right? Your body's going to have withdrawals from bad, poisonous foods because they are addictive. They're meant to be that way. They're meant to do that so you can buy more and more and more. So that's what I want you to understand, is that you can have a craving and you can have hunger, but you have to be able to talk to those inner demons, those voices that are trying to tell you and justify that it's not a craving. You're really hungry. You need pizza. You're really, really hungry. You need a piece of pie, right? So, and anything that you think of, it goes along the same lines. So I'm going to continue working on the voices in my head. I'm going to continue trying to slow down a little bit. I'm going to continue working on me as you continue working on you. And we can work together on all these things and understand that eating correctly is not a punishment. It's a reward. You're fueling your body. You're fueling your mind. I promise you, I'll talk forever about it, but you will think better. You will feel better. You will act better. If you have to rely on bad foods and alcohol, now, I'm not saying don't have them, because I sure as hell do. I drink and I eat, but I can cut them off also, because I've dealt with those voices. And it doesn't matter what it is. It falls along. It doesn't have to be food. It can be something else. And that's where you know where it originates, because you can't work on it. You can't change the association unless you can find out where it originates. And it's not going to be something that's easy all the time. All right. So it's not easy for me. It's not easy going to be for you, but we're working towards something. We're on that journey now. And we have hope. If you start to see, oh, I think I can do this. We start to build hope. Right. So I'll keep working on my stuff. You keep working on your stuff, and I'll see you again soon. Have a good rest of the day. Peace out.